Thank you, Sadhguru. My next question is on Chennai flood, which we witnessed in December 2015.
Chennai?
Chennai floods.
Oh, you're talking like Noah.
So almost 280 people lost their lives. Almost 3 million people were cut off from basic amenities. The heavy rainfall caused around 3 crores worth damages. I'm not sure if Chennai or Tamil Nadu is prepared to face another situation in the near future. What needs to be done, Sadhguru?
We don't know how to handle a blessing. That's the whole problem. When water is something that is super scarce in the country, but we build cities which are not capable of handling even the normal monsoon rains. Not when a cyclonic storm happened, that's different. That's an unusual level of water. When a tsunami came, you can't handle the water, that's a different matter. You can't be prepared for that. But a normal monsoon we are not able to handle in most of the cities, whether you see Mumbai is every year flood, Chennai only once it happened, but it'll come to you also because there is simply no planning. We're just building cities like shacks all over the place, whichever way we like, without understanding the topography. Nobody ever built a city, even in ancient times, without considering the topography of the place. But today we are such brilliant engineers, we have built things without considering the topography. We have built bridges and roads all across the country without considering the topographical issues, as if you can fix it. You can't fix it. The flow of water and many other aspects of soil dynamics and other things are very topographically decisive. So, without considering the topographic aspects, we're just building cities, one building at a time. Our plan is only one building at a time sanctioned. The entire plan, nobody knows where is that plan. So, there is no way we can rip off the city and again put it back, not possible, we are not ready to do that. We have to make corrections. Corrections could be painful for a few people, which we must do. I think some corrections were done, people who are living in the riverbed, they've built in the riverbed, but it's their home. When you demolish this home, it looks very cruel because there's a family living there and they're suddenly out on the street. But if you want long-term well-being, some hard steps are needed. We should be willing to go through some pain if we want long-term well-being. If we don't do those things, we will live like very, for the day kind of people. Again, when it rains or when it floods or when something happens, we will always have problems. Now our problem is not a flood. Chennai has only 50% of the water that it needs right now. They're saying by 2030, you will have only 22 to 25% of water that you need. That is what you need to bother about, not really flood. But flood was a very artificial situation in my opinion. I know many people will be angered by this, the administration will be angered by this, but in my opinion, this was a very artificial flood, lot of wrong things being done. It should not rain. You want rain or no rain? Or did you come up in the nursery rhymes of rain, rain, go away or… No. We want rain in this country. This is a tropical nation which receives only 40 to 45 days of average rain in the year. We want as much rain as possible. Only thing is, we have to build capacity to see how the rainwater goes down into the soil, not flowing into your home. This needs some planning, this needs some correction. Corrections will look cruel when you do it, but later on citizenry will enjoy that. The city will be a good place to live, but they will be painful when we do it.
Sadhguru, right in those lines, you are talking about asking people to change the places in which they live. So, how can we make them think about the society? Many of the people are selfish, they think about themselves. So how can we make them see that it is harming another person? How can we make them see that we have to do good to the society?
See, it's not about doing good to the society. You must understand there is no such thing as society, there are only human beings. Together we call them a society. If we have to live in a place, if you want to live by your own rules, You must withdraw to the mountains and live by your own rules, but you can't live by your own rules in nature. There are other creatures, animals, you have to follow their rules if you want to survive. So if you want to survive in a human society, you have to follow those rules which are inclusive and beneficial to all. Otherwise, you become unfit to live in a human society. If you go to the jungle, you must understand when the tiger is prowling, you must sit on a tree. If you walk in front of him like this, then you become breakfast. So, wherever you go, there are rules. If you want to play the game, there is a rule. So to live in a city, there are rules. If we don't understand this, then we become unfit to live in human societies. Especially when the society has a concentrated population, everybody has to follow the rules, otherwise every little thing that we do harms somebody else. So we need to understand this. This sense of living in close proximity is a certain challenge. And our cities are very closely packed people. So, how we walk, how we breathe, how we drive, how we throw our garbage, how we use water, everything needs to be calibrated carefully, otherwise nobody can live properly here. Because of population pressure and poverty and variety of other stresses that people are going through, they try to find shortcuts. That is how it is everywhere, believe me. People are like this. This is why we must become a law-abiding nation. Right now, even with the rivers, this is what I'm trying to do. Everybody wants to do things out of their emotion. This is a nation which runs on people's emotion. Anything you say, they want to get into action today. Wherever I go, there's a rally for rivers. Sadhguru, we will plant trees tomorrow. I said, you're not going to plant a single tree. Just shut up and give a missed call. Because what is lacking in the country is a strategy. Emotionally, we do things and it dies down after 3 days. We have to approach our problems strategically. Right now, Chennai flood as an example, topographical maps are there, all right? If you just see it, we know which are the areas which will have to go. Now, they are not willing to go. So if they are not willing to go, we have to do much more engineering of laying underground pipes and doing things, all this stuff. If this we have to do, there's a cost involved. If this we have to do, if we don't dig out your house, at least maybe we have to dig your garden. You must be ready for that. If you're not ready for that, there must be a law which will anyway do it. But now, if you have to make a law like that, we should not have people who are very nervous about winning the next election or winning the next vote, confidence vote. They can't make these laws, they cannot enforce these laws. There must be leadership which is willing to do what is needed for the long-term well-being of the city and the people. This needs some courage and commitment to execute what needs to be executed.